Jorge arrived at his mother's house around 3 a.m. and told her that his girlfriend had accidentally fallen. She thought that the girl had fallen off her motorcycle, but Jorge explained that the girl had fallen off the balcony. Julieta Riera was born on September 6, 1995, in Parana, Argentina. She had 3 older sisters and 1 younger brother. Julieta helped her mother around the house and looked after her younger brother. Her mother was an elementary school teacher. When Julieta grew up, she began to take care of her maternal grandmother, who was very ill with diabetes. She visited her grandmother every day, fed her, bathed her, and cleaned the house. After school, she entered the university, studying law. She wanted to become a lawyer and help people defend their rights. The girl was shy, but determined and goal-oriented. In 2016, at the age of 21, Juliet became a mother. But the relationship with the child's father did not work out and she raised her son alone. In 2018, she met a 29-year-old guy named Georgie Julian Cristo. Georgie was a reliable, serious guy, from a decent family, and made a good impression on the girl. His mother used to work as a judge. They started dating and 2 years later began living together. At that time, Georgie was studying to be a pilot and did not have a job. He had an apartment in the same building and on the same floor in the city center with his mother and a powerful motorcycle that he rode. All this was a gift from his mother. The couple lived in his apartment overlooking the street, and Georgie's mother lived in another apartment overlooking the courtyard. On April 30, 2020, Georgie and Juliet were at Georgie's mother's apartment, but the mother herself was not at home. They were having a good time, but a terrible tragedy occurred during the night. At night, Jorge came to the police station and said that his girlfriend accidentally fell from the balcony of the 8th floor, and she needed help. The police and an ambulance immediately went to the scene, but, unfortunately, they could not do anything. 24-year-old Juliet was dead. She was lying on the ground face down. It was strange that Jorge did not call the police or the ambulance, but came there not immediately, but only after some time, wasting precious time when it was still possible to save the girl. The neighbors who were at home said that they heard their quarrel behind the wall, and then some dull sound. But they did not understand what it was. It was night, and no one paid attention to it. They did not hear the girl screaming during the fall. This means that the girl was unconscious during the fall or already dead. Hiding the body confirmed this. Juliet had multiple wounds, including scratches on her face, neck, and arms, not related to the fall, as if someone had attacked her, and there were marks on her neck. Someone had tried to strangle the girl with their hands. Georgie had multiple scratches and bruises on her body, mostly on her face, neck, and arms. Georgie's DNA was found under Juliet's fingernails. Her glasses were found under a chair in the apartment, covered in blood. They had Juliet's and Georgie's DNA on them. This proved that the girl had been attacked in the apartment and that it was not by accident that she had fallen from the balcony. It was obvious that there had been a fight and argument between Georgie and Juliet before she fell from the balcony. And everything pointed to Georgie strangling the girl. She had lost consciousness, and then he probably threw her off the balcony while she was still alive to cover up all traces. And she died from injuries incompatible with life as a result of a fall. 3-year-old Georgie was arrested. He was charged with murder under edematous circumstances, treason, and gender violence. Georgie himself refused to testify. At the preliminary hearing, the prosecution was given 60 days to present evidence of his involvement in the crime. But within 60 days, no evidence was collected. Therefore, the defense tried to release Georgie on bail. He was released and was under house arrest in his mother's apartment until the trial. On the surface, Julieta and Georgie seemed like a happy couple. So why did such a tragedy happen? Julieta's mother told how she saw her daughter with bruises several times, and she explained that he simply hit the wall, the corner of the table, the door. Because she has poor eyesight, and at those moments she allegedly forgot to put on her glasses. But the mother did not believe this and was sure that Georgie raised his hand to Julieta. She advised her daughter to break up with him as soon as possible. But Julieta denied all this and avoided the conversation. Julieta's son temporarily lived with her mother. The day before the incident, Julieta confessed to one of her sisters that Georgie was beating her. They had a serious talk with her, and the sister insisted that Julieta move out of her abusive boyfriend's house. and Julieta agreed, but she didn't have time. It turned out that Georgie already had a criminal record for disobeying police officers in a traffic accident. His friends said that Georgie drank alcohol from a prohibited substance. He was very jealous and aggressive. He didn't even allow Julieta to use her phone. She could only communicate with relatives on his phone in his presence. Georgie's mother said in court that it was all an evil plot against her son. He is a wonderful, loving, kind person and would never raise a hand against a woman, and she loved Julieta like her own daughter. The mother said that she was the first to know about the tragedy. Georgie came to her at about 3 o'clock in the morning and told her everything. According to him, that evening Georgie and Julieta were at his mother's house. The lovers drank beer and had sex. Then he went to the bathroom. Julieta was without her glasses and went out onto the balcony. He heard screams in the distance, ran out of the bathroom and saw that the girl was nowhere in the apartment. When he went out onto the balcony, he saw Julieta sitting on the railing facing him and began to fall off the balcony in front of his eyes. He moved towards her, was so close, but did not have time to help the girl. Georgie allegedly did not understand what happened and why she fell. His mother told him to call the emergency services immediately, but he told her that he was not feeling well and could not call. The woman fainted and could not call either. Georgie took a sedative and went to the police station. All this sounded completely implausible. The mother also claimed that Juliet had his own mobile phone. She personally gave her an iPhone, but it fell off a motorcycle and crashed, so in the last days before the tragedy, she was temporarily without a phone. Her mother also wanted to get her a job at a friend's beauty salon. Georgie told the same story as his mother. He continued to insist that it was an accident and a great tragedy for their family, but no one believed him. In addition, he could not explain where the scratches and snow on his face and body came from, and why the glasses found under the chair in the apartment had Juliet's cut. 10 people, including Juliet's family and friends, testified in court that they knew that their relationship was characterized by gender violence. The prosecutor at the trial said that Georgie took away her individuality, manipulated her, caused depression, isolated her from the world, until he took her life. Many Julieta said that she also gave her daughter a mobile phone to contact her, but it quickly broke. Relatives suspected that Georgie deliberately broke phones so that the girl would not be able to communicate with her loved ones without him. Police found 4 broken phones in Georgie's apartment. They analyzed the correspondence on the phones and found one alarming message there, sent 3 months before the tragedy, to Georgie's mother. Julieta wrote that she loved Georgie very much, but could not stand him anymore. He is very aggressive, beats, insults her, and she does not want to suffer from the guy anymore. But Georgie's mother did not react to this message in any way and did not even try to stop her son. Experts said that an accidental fall from the balcony in her case was impossible. The girl fell vertically. She did not try to grab onto anything in her path. She did not scream. There was no dirt or dust on her clothes, which was on the railing. The floors on the balcony were not slippery. She could not have slipped. Inside the balcony there was a small round table, 2 comfortable stools and a bottle of beer standing next to one of the cottage cheeses. The railing was above Julieta's center of gravity, at a height of 92 centimeters. According to Jorge, the girl was sitting on the railing, facing him, but for some reason she fell face down. And most importantly, the trajectory of the fall does not coincide with what would have happened if the girl herself had fallen from the balcony. On April 15, 2021, the jury found him guilty. Jorge was sentenced to life imprisonment.